Hello my friends, happy Sunday. This is Jock here and this is Deadly Departed. Today we're going to talk about spirit guides, and this is another video in our quest for more information gathered from many questions that have come in, and something that I heard recently in a group stating that animals can be your spirit guides. So we're going to jump straight into that once we come back. God bless. Okay guys, welcome back. Firstly, let me apologise. This is Sunday. I haven't had a shave. I kind of was in two minds. Will I have a shave? Will I come out? Will I do this? And then I thought, no. And I'll just go on and I'll just record what we're going to talk about. And to make matters worse, my Flonase started leaking in my pocket. So, welcome back to Deadly Departed, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, today we're going to talk about spirit guides and spirit animals, as we said beforehand. And to make something quite clear, because I'd heard in a group recently that the spirit animals were the individuals' guides, spirit guides, and I kind of cringed. I thought, wait a minute, it's kind of lulling the person into a false sense of security, or the group into a false sense of security, because one, it's dangerous because you start to put all your faith and your trust in a potential animal, an animal who's acting as your spirit guide or your spirit helper and guiding you through your life, which makes it a clear gateway for negative spirits and bad spirit guides to influence you and kind of cause you a lot of harm and cause you a lot of anguish and a lot of suffering over a period of time. But the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, there's two different ways of looking at this, right? There is a connection with spirit totems, spirit animals, and it's nothing just to do with the spirit world and mediumship. I mean, if we look at the spirit totems, spirit animals, it goes back to a lot of indigenous tribes, indigenous civilizations. For thousands of years, they put not their belief, but their perceptions or their faith or their protection based on the animal kingdom. For instance, we look at the Native American totem pole and we have the eagles there, we have a bear there, and these are their totem animals, these are their spirit animals. But it didn't mean that the spirit animals were guiding them. And in the same indigenous civilizations, even in Egypt from back in the day, we have many animals that have a spiritual inference, okay? And so in the indigenous kind of understanding or the folklore or their perceptions, the reality is that the spirit animals, the totem animals, were an influence, were a spiritual influence. They meant something, either a catalyst to an awakening, a catalyst for spiritual information. But the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, a spirit guide is your guide. The animal on the other side is not going to be your guide. That is a false belief in my perception, or the way I think about it is my own opinion actually, is that the belief in the spirit animal being a guide is dangerous, right? Because if you put, as I said before, if you put your faith and trust in an animal to guide you through your spiritual development, you could easily be duped by negative and nefarious spirits. But how does it work? How is that connection with the spirit world and the spirit animal or the totem animal? Well, there's two ways. There's the influence of the individual, the medium or the person, right? By their spirit team, by their spirit guide that can influence them to be able to notice an animal. For instance, you're walking down the road or you're out in the forest, you're walking and all of a sudden maybe a hawk lands in front of you or something, or maybe you're looking straight ahead to you, but for some reason you feel I'm going to turn and look in the direction, over there, and immediately you catch, and I'm not just saying a glimpse, but you catch a direct connection to a hawk or to an eagle or something like that. And I'll tell you a wee story about one of them later. And that's the way that your spirit team or your spirit guide is going to influence you to look in that direction. And there will be a significance to that particular type of animal that will relate to you. You may have recently been thinking about hawks or eagles or things. You may have an interest, an inclination that's driven towards that. And that is you being influenced by the spirit side of life, by your spirit team, your spirit helpers. And that sign that you see can be a catalyst to an awareness or an awakening of the spiritual self, or sowing a seed within you of your spiritual development. And so that is one way. And the other way is that your same spirit team or your same spirit guide or your guardian angel will be able to influence, side of things, be able to influence The animal kingdom, because one, the animal kingdom is not materially tied to this world. They don't have the ego and the material perceptions and beliefs that we have. And they're very much closer in vibration and harmony to the spirit world. And therefore, it's easier for your spirit guide, your guardian angel, your spirit team to be able to influence that particular animal, or even your loved one to influence in them. Which is why if you look at one of the videos that I did recently, well, probably actually a while ago, I talked about signs of spirit, which is up here somewhere. And I talked about, and on the other side, I think we talked about, there's one I did, I know I did signs of spirit, but there's one I did, and I'll put it up here actually, on signs of animals in the afterlife and how they happen, and you can go and watch that because it'll maybe give you some more information. But the reality is, I wouldn't want an owl to become my spirit guide and start to guide me through my spiritual development in my life. One, they don't have the same intelligent faculties that your spirit team have, or that have maybe lived on this earth, or a guardian angel. They are limited in their spiritual faculties, or they're limited in their vibrational match, is a way to explain it. So they're not going to be able to guide you. If that had been the case in many seances back in the day, and even modern day connections, you would have the materialization, or you would have spirit animals talking and guiding and having intelligence beyond our human capability to be able to guide us through our life. No, they are a tool that is utilized by the spirit team, by the spirit world. It's a tool that's used. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but your spirit team are going to be able to influence that particular animal and you. And there's the connection, which will have a connection to your spiritual awakening. It could be a sign of your development, a sign of your spiritual awakening, a sign of things to come. Or, like I said in that video, it could be signs of your loved ones. It could be your spirit team showing you a sign that's connected to your loved one. Could be your loved one who's developed far enough on the spirit side of life to be able to send you signs of butterflies and different other things, because they're able to influence the animal kingdom in that way, energetically, not negatively or any way like that, but energetically through thought transference and things like that. And that's a nice segue into that thought transference, because when you see that on that walk and you see that hawk or you see that owl, you may have a predisposition that you love owls or you love hawks and stuff like that, and recently you've started reading about them or you've saw something there, and that could be thoughts that are placed in by your spirit team to start awakening things in you and awakening you to the spiritual capacities within you, and then sending you and making you, because they actually know that that's happened and that bird has actually landed there, that eagle has landed there, they influence your mind, they put a thought in your mind to look in that direction, and you see it, and then it means something to you, because there will be a vibrational connection. There will be a knowing deep inside you. There'll be a clear cognizant knowing that that was a sign from my spirit team or a sign from the other side, because it's influenced. The spirit animal, the totem animal, is not going to be your guide. It will not intelligently guide you through your life, your choices, or anything like that. And in fact, if you even look at Native American, if you look at ancient folklore, if you look at the ancient history of indigenous tribes, they never once really said, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they never once said that this bear came and started telling us what to do. It just doesn't happen like that. So I'm not being negative in any way, but I want you to learn the right information, because the relationship you have with your spirit team, your spirit guides, your spirit helpers, your guardian angel is important. They will be the connection. They will be the catalyst to the other kingdom, the other side of life, and the animal kingdom. So they're able to influence, whilst they're also able to influence you as well. You're not being guided by a spirit animal. A spirit animal is not your spirit guide. That is wrong. And if anybody can prove that to me from even in the past, then I'll stand corrected, but I very much doubt it. So the other thing, like I said, and I mentioned just previously, is that if you put all your faith and all your trust in an animal, and you put all your focus and your attention on that particular animal, and you miss all the other signs from the spirit world, it's very easy for you to be duped by negative spirits as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that's helped. I hope it's answered some questions. And if you've got any questions, then please, hit me up on Instagram at Spiritual Medium. Or of course, you can, ask any questions by sending me a message from my website. Or if you're listening to this on a podcast, you can just connect with me on there, or anything that you want to just reach out. If I have the information, if I can answer, I will definitely answer. I will definitely get back to you. But also let me know, is this something you've been taught? in your development? Have you been taught that you have, you know, spirit animals as your guides? I want to know that, because I listened to this in a group the other day and I cringed, and I've been asked questions like this in the past. So I hope this gives a little bit of clarity and you understand it a little bit more. And if you've got any questions, reach out to me. Have a great Sunday, a great week coming, and stay safe. God bless.